Hi everybody, welcome to Quill and Sword. We are here, we are live. This is really exciting. I'm Stephen Partridge. I am joined by these lovely people who also happen to be authors. We are going to play some D&D. So why don't we kick things off with some announcements before we get too far into things. Robin and I have started a podcast, which is hosted on our new YouTube channel called Nerds of a Feather. The podcast has the same name. We are also vlogging on that channel. So we're doing a podcast once a month, and then we're each going to do a vlog once a month where we vlog our adventures or our life or what have you. So you can check that out. There's a link in the cards. And yeah, I'm this is just kind of me a little bit. Like, I just am chaotic all the time when I go places. Yeah. And along the lines of announcements, we also, Robin and I are part of Nerdarchy, in case you didn't know. And we play a weekly streamed game on Nerdarchy Live, which is a second channel for Nerdarchy. And I'm going to be running the next game. The trailer for this game is already up. It's going to be starting this coming Tuesday. Oh, they can't hear anyone except me. So let's see what's going on with that. They can't hear anyone. Yep, we have that. Okay, let's see what happens when we go here to the audio output capture. Did that work?
I don't know. I guess the rest of us have to say something and see if the chat says so.
Oh, they can hear you.
Found it.
Hey, all right. So, like I was saying, I'm going to be running the new game. It's going to be in the same setting, but in a different part of the world. And it does involve a little bit of the backstory of a character we already know and love. So you'll just have to tune in for all that nonsense. And does anyone else have other announcements?
No?
Okay, then I'm going to roll my D4, and whoever it lands on, please introduce yourself, your character, and say what you remember about last time. So we are starting with SENITA. That's a 1.
That is the face of someone who is absolutely ready.
Listen, I'm running on an hour of sleep, and I got work tonight.
Oh my gosh.
I'm SENITA, and last time we were still in the Elven City, and met an Elven friend, not friend, with our actual friend. Why am I blanking? Is it Giselle? Why am I blanking on the
Yes.
name? Okay, and Giselle. There it is. And in battle, ensured. And I'm just going to pass it on to MARISA because I'm not here right now.
So hey everybody, I'm MARISA Mohi and I play Nimini Batch, everybody's favorite cinnamon roll. So we are in this elven city. We got there by accident a couple of streams ago. And it looks like we might be a little bit trapped. Currently, Nim and Matt, well, not currently, but Nim and Mask did some research at the library as much as could be done, but no definitive answers yet of how to get out of this elven city. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Nathaniel because I don't want to say what Wisp found. So I'll let Nathaniel share.
Well, there were a number of things that went on in terms of people having communications with Aeliath, the elf that we met before, and a lion woman whose name I now forget if we even knew it. But there was a lot of talking about past lives, particularly with Anu. Wisp, not in the mood to deal with the library, went off and fiddled with their lute and playing the right tune and with the magic of song and performance found a secret door. Don't know where it goes, but I found it.
The secret tunnel.
Yep.
Secret tunnel.
Yes, that's exactly where my brain went. So I guess that leaves Robin.
Yes, it does.
All right. So, like, also, we kind of found Giselle. She's in the city with us, and she got kidnapped. And I think that the people that originally kidnapped her meant to do something other than what the elves want her for. But I guess she has to light a fire and, like, save their city or something. Which I think we're leaning toward trying to convince her to do anyway, in spite of the fact that these people have been incredibly rude and won't just let us out. Because we're nice people like that. We're classy. But, like, the people that hurt Ben are absolutely going to get, like, crispy fried and probably not by Giselle. I don't know if you guys tuned in last time, but Nim went into total berserker mode for, like, a combat, and it was wonderful.
That's
all I got.
Great. Oh yes, we all love when the cinnamon roll goes berserk. That's the moment everybody just lives for. So, yes, with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and start our intro for Quill and Sword.
I set the fives in the hands.
Welcome back. So we are going to go ahead and get started with all of this. Hopefully this works pretty well. So you guys find yourselves currently outside the temple. You have an elf with you who looks rather dejected, bloodied. All of you are a little bit worse for your wear yourselves. You also have a Giselle who seems unusually quiet given the circumstances. And
we did get the key for her collar, yes.
You did get the key for her collar from the spiteful sorcerer.
I believe Wisp has that.
Yes, I do.
If you would so kindly.
Okay, so I'm going to take the key. I'm going to approach Giselle. Say, okay, sweetie, I'm going to take that thing off your neck, all right? But it's really important that you stay calm when I do that. We're still trying to get a handle on everything that's going on, okay? So we're trying to stay calm and keep on top of it. Think you can do that?
Make a persuasion check.
Second. 13.
13. So she sort of like clings really tightly onto their shirt and buries her face for just a second and then starts to bring it out a little bit.
Okay. So I will take the key and take the collar off.
Okay. You take the collar off, and I need all of you guys to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
Oh.
Right. 20.
15.
Okay. 2015. Anyone who got
18.
18. All right.
23.
No, actually, sorry, 22.
22.
I forgot to add my modifier.
Lots of fours. Okay. So anyone who got under a 14 is going to take 15 fire damage. Everyone who got above it takes 7. As she explodes with blue fire. And you see that, especially from where her arms and legs are, her clothing like lacerates and incinerates, so that's where the fire is coming from. And you see that there is this strange marking that has appeared on her body. Anu doesn't even have to make a roll for this, but Anu, you recognize what this looks like. It looks like somebody started tattooing her in a similar way as to what you've had. And she starts screaming, "I can't control it!" And the fire is roaring all around you guys at this moment.
Okay. I don't drop the baby.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm, like, gonna look to Nim. You know, like, there's fire. There's definitely fire, and I'm definitely not letting go. And, like, I'm good at doing the risky thing, and I will help, but I think that this is definitely a Nim job.
So here's the deal with it being a Nim job. That's 7 points of damage. I am now currently at 0 points.
Oh, no.
So,
okay.
Nim is on the ground.
So I look to Nim. Nim is on the ground. That can be taken care of, but I think it's probably important that we get the fire to stop first. So I'm gonna like look at Giselle. I'm gonna be like, okay, we're gonna take a deep breath, and I'm like, take her hand with my free hand.
Okay.
You did it last time. It's just like that.
I can't!
Yes, you can.
Make a persuasion check yourself.
Okay. $15.
15. So she starts trying, and she's closing her eyes, and you see that the fire dies down considerably, but now you see that there are flames leaking from her eyes and exhaling with every breath through her nostrils. just like little pff of flame.
Okay.
So the flames have died to the point that you guys don't have to make a second dexterity save, but it is clear that the fire is building up again, and these runes that have been inscribed and tattooed on her are thrumming with fire, and there's fire actually erupting in bursts out of different lines that follow it.
Okay. That's better. You're on your way there. We're gonna get there. This is definitely something that you can do. I super believe in you, Giselle. Just keep breathing.
In the meantime, I'm going to healing word Nim.
Okay.
Thank you.
So give me a second. This is not going to be for a lot, but I'm trying to save my second level spell slots here. That's going to be 6 points of healing.
Woo! So does that mean that just takes me up to 6, right?
Yes, you are at 6 now, and you are awake. You are conscious as... Well, Wisp, describe how your magic manifests.
So I'm going to turn to where she's lying down and sort of breathe in a sort of a breathy air. Wakey, wakey. And little sort of it's like a sort of spit glitter. There's sort of a bit of a rainbow dust effect that sort of goes from me to her and lands on her.
Okay. And Nim, you feel this life pulse, and you are conscious for the moment.
Thank you. I whisper over the flames.
And Anu, what are you trying to do?
Does
in this
anyone
situation?
remember how many health potions we have?
Anu should remember how many health potions you have. Steven does not remember how many health potions you guys have that have not been used. So what you have in your inventory is what you have.
Checking that.
I write mine down on a piece of paper, and I didn't write any health potions down, so I am not carrying any of them.
Yeah, I don't have any.
I have 1.
I think I have 2. I think I forgot to write it down.
I know you had at least 1.
Yeah.
Anu did.
Okay. I don't know if I should save it or give it. What's Nim's full health?
18.
18. We're down to 6. You know what? I'm gonna hold off and just wait. Let me see. I'm gonna also. So, Giselle is still. She's still kind of not quite in control. I'm gonna try to get her to meditate with me.
Okay. How
Can
are you
I
going to do that?
Use the help action. Oh, yeah, that's important. Never mind.
So how are you going to have Anu try to convince her to do this?
I hunch down to her level. It's like, let me be real with you. Understand this is a lot of power. When you feel calm in here, you can take back the reins, like riding a pony, right? Your pony is bucking. You just gotta pull tight on the reins. So let's imagine yourself. Power is a horse, a pony, a unicorn, if you will. And you grabbing the reins and calm this beautiful creature because it is yours. You're bonded with it. You show it where to go.
Okay, make a persuasion roll. And how is Mask planning on helping?
Okay, so if we're using this metaphor, I'm gonna like just rock and like do it slowly and then like more slowly as Anu goes through these steps.
Okay, sure. Anu, you can have advantage on your persuasion check.
Oh, bet. That's not persuasion, that's perception. I know how to read.
Yes,
there it
those
is.
are different.
God.
Only one of those I am good at.
I got a 20. A dirty 20.
A dirty 20. You know what? We like dirty 20s. Dirty 20s are our friends, even though they're dirty. Because you know what? Sometimes you just need to get a little dirty. Okay,
Life
so...
motto.
Yes, life motto. So, Giselle does seem calmed by you. And, so you see that once again these runes start exploding with fire from her skin as the flames die further out from her hands, so that now it's more like a torches level. So you have like essentially torches of blue fire coming from her hands and feet, but these runes are bursting with her heartbeat, with fire erupting out of them.
Awesome.
All right.
That's a cat.
Yeah, that's my cat. She's whining because I'm giving all of you attention instead of giving her attention.
A travesty, an absolute scandal.
It is. It really is.
Steven, I can't remember. Did we ever find out where it was that we were supposed to take her to fulfill whatever this relighting of a flame thing?
You did
Or
not.
We don't. We're flying blind.
But we still have the elf here.
You do have the elf, and actually, since you mentioned him, Masquerade, go ahead and make a roll. A perception roll.
Okay. 10 total.
10. Okay, you turn around and you don't see him.
Yeah, I'm a bit distracted.
Where is he gonna go? We're all locked in here.
Well, they were headed into the temple in the first place, so I'd say that it's probably a pretty sure bet that that's where we're going.
Yeah, that's as good a bet as any. I'm not in the mood to hunt anybody down right now.
After.
Yes, after.
So, as you guys are talking about this, you see that there starts to be a bit of an explosion, and Giselle tries to control it, and the fires just real quick and get bigger. Not so big that you guys have to make a dexterity saving throw, thankfully, but they burst, and she's having a really hard time holding this in. And you see that these tears that are actually flaming themselves are starting to leak down her face and land with sizzling water that immediately evaporates as soon as it hits the cobblestone.
Okay.
And she once again just looks to Mask, and she's like, "It hurts! It hurts!"
Let's take the dash action and go into this large stone building where hopefully nothing is flammable.
The temple?
Yeah.
The temple is full of plants. It's overgrown.
Well, why were they headed in there? All right. Gonna take the dash action anyway, because like they said, I remember they said something about putting the flame in a receptacle, and they were headed this way. I'm hoping that it will be more obvious once we get in here what we're doing.
Okay. So you're picking up the child and just dashing?
Yes.
All right. You don't need to even make a roll for this. You do not find anywhere readily apparent that seems like it would be a receptacle for fire.
Okay. Right. So, my movement is 40 feet to begin with, so I'm gonna assume that I go about halfway in and then right back out again.
Yeah. Yeah, everywhere that you've been welcomed in, does not seem like a receptacle.
Nope.
Steven, roughly how far away, like, running would it take to get to where Aeliath was?
It would be probably 5 rounds of Masquerade dashing without using key points.
Well, if we could find somewhere that is not full of plants, it might help if we like got her to just let it out and drain herself of mana.
Okay. All right. So there are buildings nearby, though crumbling, that seem to be less overgrown than others, though the city on the whole seems to be very overgrown with these plants pretty much to some degree or another everywhere.
Well, this is how it had to be for Elsa. Like, she figured out how to control her nonsense when she just, like, let it go. So, I think this is a good idea. This, like... Okay. Yeah, we'll try that. We'll like, contain it as much as possible and try that.
Okay.
I'm running in the direction of Aeliath because somebody who knows this place, I want information. I feel like I can't help the immediate situation. I'm not going to demand, but I'm going to look to Anu and like, if you want to come with me and talk to this guy, I'd appreciate it.
Okay. So, go ahead, Masquerade, and make me an investigation check while they're headed up to Aeliath.
Cool, I'm good at that. I nat 20.
You nat
23
20.
total.
There is a single building about 20 feet away that has a rooftop that seems to have no plants on it. It must have been hit earlier when she was exploding.
Alright, cool. That's where we're going.
All right.
I'm gonna follow them.
So you run her up to this rooftop, and what do you tell her?
Alright, I know I said keep control, but what I want you to do now is stand here, don't move an inch. Just stand here and you just let it all out, alright?
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And you hear this child scream, almost warp with an echo, as she just screams fire, and this column of blue flame erupts from her into the sky. And you see that it actually blasts through what seems to be some sort of magical dome over this place.
Is there sky up there?
There is sky up there. And it burns through the tree canopy and everything, just straight up.
That solved a couple of problems.
For about a minute. And then it dies out.
You alright, Giselle?
And she is unconscious in your lap now.
Okay. Oh, did I take fire damage if I was, like, that close?
Actually, you ended up healing for 9.
Sweet.
And it's
Sorry,
weird
Marissa's
because
face.
as you were being burned, and Nim, because you were with them, you actually also catch this healing. As
all 9 points?
You felt fire, and you swore there was going to be pain. And instead, it was soothing and relieving. And it was almost like... It was almost cold.
Is your fire made out of icy hot?
Meanwhile, Anu and Wisp, you guys arrive into the temple. And you hear stomping footsteps on padded moss. And you hear the echoing voice of Aeliath. Who did this? Who committed this blasphemy?
Who did what?
Depends which blasphemy you're talking about. A lot has happened in the last few minutes.
The sacred sanctum has been opened. Who did this?
That I don't know. I'm going to assume the people who came in here with a flaming kid that we chased off. That's another issue. We're trying to deal with that. Actually, could use your help.
They would have had no time to do that.
Okay, we have a child who is leaking fire, and if there's a place she's supposed to be where that would actually help anything, it'd be great to know where that is.
What kind of fire?
Blue
fire.
You see that in his scaled over eyes, there's almost like they widen with recognition. The creature is an abomination and needs to be destroyed.
Oh, for God's sake.
Take me to this child.
No!
I don't know. we were told she could help the elves.
We do not need help.
Something about relighting a fire? Ring a bell?
Make an insight check.
So that 14.
Sorry, you got really quiet.
14.
14. There we go. 14. You catch another whiff of recognition at that phrase.
Where is the fire that needs to be relit?
There is no fire that needs to be relit. We do not need fire here. There are plants everywhere.
I feel like you don't want the elves to come back.
Make another insight check. Anu, you get advantage.
Are we both checking?
Yeah.
Insight.
Ooh, that's a nat 20.
Oh,
Bet.
you see this look of recognition, horror, and you, Wisp, are aware that what Anu said must be true.
I got a 14. Oh wait, I got an advantage though. So I roll again?
Yes.
Yeah, you can roll again.
17.
17. Anu, you have a temporary flash, briefly, like a vision, almost like you're meditating. It's almost like one of your lives wants to come out and tell you something. And you see the exact location you're standing in, but you're taller, you're wearing armor. The place is bustling with priests, and it is distinctly not overgrown. The fountains are flowing freely, but there are no plants anywhere around here. And your vision is back.
Why don't you want to help the elves?
I am helping the elves. I'm helping the elves as no one has helped the elves before.
Becoming recluse?
By saving us, by protecting us. When the humans destroyed this location, I raised it from what it was. I and our goddess.
That's the one we're supposed to be waking up, is the goddess.
She does not need awakening. She is already here with us. Do you not see the plants?
Why are you so sure that it's the plants?
Because she is the goddess of life.
And life sometimes needs a kick in the butt with fire.
Fire destroys life, and I need to know where this abomination is so that it can be destroyed properly.
I ain't telling you that. I
No.
don't know. I don't know why you think announcing your intention to slay a child is gonna get anybody's cooperation.
He narrows his eyes, but does not look directly at either of you. And he says, "Leave this place. Neither of you is welcome here."
We've been trying to, dude, and we would like to now, but we're not leaving the situation at hand. You can either help, or I can just leave you here to fumble around in the dark.
Out of my temple now! And
Bite.
you see many of the vines start rising up. In like a threatening way, but not like they're actively coming for you.
Fine. I'm out.
No, I'm not mad, but I'm disappointed in what you become. I thought you wanted to help our people, and you don't. And I follow Wisp out.
Make an intimidation check or persuasion, your choice.
So good.
I'm gonna do persuasion. 22.
22. You see tears that are just restrained in his eyes as he turns away from you and says, well, each of us clearly found another path in our life cycle.
Yeah, you want ours to end. I want ours to renew.
Leave me.
I'm leaving.
And he goes back toward the library.
Give me 1 second. If he's headed that way, I'm going to turn to Anu and just go, you know, if you wanted to follow him, I wouldn't say anything.
I throw up my head. You're right. I'm gonna go be a sneaky snake.
So I'm going to exit the temple, not stomping my hooves, but like they're going to be audible that I'm leaving.
Okay. Anu, make a stealth check at disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Alternatively, you can make an insight check first to avoid the disadvantage.
Okay. Insight first. Jesus. I got a 21.
You remember that Aeliath sees with the plants. So, when you're stealthing, you try to avoid locations that have moss or plant overgrowth. So go ahead and make your stealth check.
God damn. 25.
25. Okay. You find your way back into the library, and you see him closing the door that Wisp opened. And you see Jakira walk around from a bookshelf. Is something wrong? They opened the sanctum. We'll have to change the locks. Will take many days to redo the ritual. Make sure no one enters here until I've reset this. And he starts walking back toward you, Anu, as though he's leaving the library. So, what do you do?
Hold my breath and hope he doesn't spot me.
Okay. Make a stealth roll at disadvantage.
Oh. Okay. 11.
11. Gonna make his perception roll. He walks up to the threshold, which is about 10 feet wide, but about 30 feet tall. And as he crosses the threshold, you hold your breath. He pauses for just a moment, heaves a sigh, shakes his head, and continues on, seemingly without noticing you.
Boy.
And you are now at the threshold. But before we do anything else, let's go to Wisp, who returns to Nim, Masquerade, and an unconscious Giselle. Yeah, I can talk.
Oh, sleepy. That's good. Aeliath is not going to be helpful. His suggestion was to kill her, so we won't be counting on him going
I don't mean
from here.
to sound like an asshole, but at what point has Aeliath actually been helpful?
That is a very pertinent question.
Well, I would have thought, given the implications of what we were told about the idea of reigniting a flame, bringing things back to life, that like he would have been on board for that. Seemed like it was in his wheelhouse. evidently not.
Interesting.
So.
But also, and I'm going to point straight up to where the hole in the dome is, where you can see the sky.
It's actually
Oh.
closing.
Oh. Well, if she
Well.
can do it once, she can do it again.
Yeah, but can she do it again without, barbecuing anybody?
Again, a
That's what she
pertinent
did
question.
this time.
I mean, forgive me for being slightly skeptical of her past performance, given its A, inconsistency, and B, escalating nature.
That's fair.
Mhm.
I'm gonna send Stardust up there to check out the dome and see if there's anything to latch on to, or if it's actually raw magic.
Okay. Do you see through his senses, or do you just send him up and pull him back?
I'll go ahead and ride along.
Okay. So you once again have your vision suddenly shoot into that of the owl, and you feel the intensity of all of the colors just exponentially increase as you focus and fly straight up. And you realize that the dome is not physical at all. But when you try to sit on it, you find yourself disoriented. And after several seconds, you find yourself falling and catch yourself with your wings, as though you thought you were sitting on something and there was nothing, and then there was really nothing, and now you're back. And anytime you don't go through that hole, you get turned around and find yourself back where you started.
Okay. So I shake my head, blink that off. We probably don't want to go through that hole anyway. I was thinking we might be able to throw a rope up there or something, but there's really nothing to tie it onto.
Okay, then.
Where's Anu?
She was tracking Aeliath and seeing what he was up to after I left.
Okay.
So that's what's going on. Oh. Crap. You know, it just hit me. So, in talking to Aeliath with everything going on, he actually did not seem the most upset about the idea of other people being here, or even necessarily Giselle. He seemed the most upset about, I think it was that passage I opened.
He literally said, almost verbatim, that he didn't care if we looked for the way out ourselves. And now
Yeah.
he's gonna get all mad that we did that.
Well, I'm going to make a leap and say that wasn't an exit. And
Well,
that-
if he had been a little bit more helpful, then maybe we wouldn't be in this situation.
Well, I'm not going to argue with that. I don't know. It's all I've got to go on. Because I'm assuming that when she wakes up, we're going to be right back where we were in terms of the issue.
I look at both of them and say, so we're going to go through the secret passageway, because even if it's not the way out, there's probably something there that might help us get out. I don't know. It seems to me that if it makes Aeliath mad, that's probably our best bet.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to agree. I just don't know what kind of mess we're going to bring down on our heads by trying. That's not a reason to not do it. I'm just saying. It's
Consider.
been that kind of day.
Yeah, but consider, is that going to be worse than being stuck in Plant City?
At this point, no.
Well,
Okay.
so I'm gonna adjust the small one and look to Nim, and I'm going to be like, do you want to take her, or should I keep hold of her for the time being? I pass her over. You stay sleeping for a while, Firebug. I wonder if it would be feasible to take some of these vines and make the front backpack.
Kind of like a baby carrier.
Yes.
Do you do this?
No, probably not, because she'd just burn them when she woke up.
Okay.
We need something that's like flame resistant when we get to that point.
So, are we headed back towards the library then?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Do we know to go to the library?
I mean, that's where the passage
Oh, that's right.
was.
We have every reason to go to the library. Yes, let's go.
Mhm.
Anu, after you've witnessed these events, what do you do?
I'm gonna sit in the temple and wait for the other ones to get here.
Okay. So, go ahead and make another stealth roll for me.
I can't see that. Oh, 25.
25. So, you manage to slink your way into the library and perch atop a bookshelf and just sort of recline there. And you see Jakira walking out, and as she stops briefly where you are, she sniffs. And then continues on. The rest of you, are you going sneakily in?
I mean, I would probably try. I don't know if I would trust the other two as well, but that would probably be my inclination.
I'm being as quiet as possible so Giselle doesn't wake up. I'm taking this as like the most sacred part of the mission.
That's absolutely fair. I am sticking close to Nim and Giselle in bodyguard mode, so if they're being quiet, I am also being quiet.
Okay. Everyone give me a group stealth check. How we're going to treat this is a group test. So, there's 3 of you. You need 2 successes to succeed.
Yeah, curve them checks.
18.
It is mask.
18.
That's a good curve.
17.
17. Oh, that's a real narrow curve. Let's see if it's enough. You guys approach carefully, taking care to avoid the moss-covered areas, as I know for a fact that Masquerade and probably also Wisp are insightful enough to put together that he sees with the plants.
Masquerade, maybe not me. You forget my insight sucks.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Nim. Nim is the one who's insightful. I got y'all confused. So you avoid the plant-covered areas. And for just a moment, you see Wisp almost brushes against the fronds of a plant, but misses them as Masquerade just guides you away very carefully. And you make your way into the library, seemingly unnoticed.
Okay, so do we see Anu or anyone else in the vicinity?
If you can beat a 25 stealth, but
No.
Anu, you are aware that your companions have entered through the door.
So I'm going to approach where the passage was.
Okay.
And I'm going to check around again.
Okay.
I'll pull out my lute. And I will play the tune that opened it last time.
All right.
I'm gonna jump down quickly. Go wait.
There you are.
Yeah, hi. Wait a second.
Oh.
If we do this, there's going to be trouble.
There's already trouble.
Yeah.
This is definitely where we need to take Giselle.
Okay,
Problem
then.
with Aeliath is he thinks that helping the elves is hiding the elves, and that's no way to live.
Well, if Aeliath wanted us to play nice and be on his side, he would have been more specific when he told us what to do and what not to do.
True, But that doesn't mean he's not going to put up a fight to keep his world real.
Yeah, well,
you know
we'll
what?
have
He can
to
have
deal
fun
with that.
So,
yeah.
Are we prepared? Are we healthy? Because I imagine there's going to be a fight.
I'm ready to go.
I'm in decent shape.
It'll be okay, I suppose. Couldn't be worse than the last one.
All right.
So the door grinds open, and you find yourselves staring to a downward stairwell.
Going down. I love it.
So you're at the front, Wisp?
Yeah,
As
I'll
cross
lead.
As you cross the threshold, a clawed hand covered in fur grabs your upper arm. Take this. You'll need it. And you see Jakira holding out a mana potion. Be careful with it. And standing behind her sheepishly is a familiar elf. The one who you guys beat the crap out of.
I'm so sorry about your face.
I'm not.
Are you helping or are you just cheerleading?
My skills do not reside in combat. That's
I
part
actually
of the
meant-
reason I
I
don't
actually
fit
meant him. I appreciate this. Thank you very much.
And he just sort of looks at you and he's like, well, clearly I couldn't beat all of you the first time. So
No.
perhaps it's better if I don't hinder you.
Good call. All right. So I'll take. Actually, just quick check with the party. I've already got 2 mana potions. Anyone else might have use of this?
I definitely would. I have a level in wizard.
All right. I'm gonna pass it over to Mask then.
Do be careful with those. They can be very addictive.
Sounds like fun to me.
Stashing. No, I take my hat off, put it in the hat, and then put the hat back on.
Okay. Safe journeys, and may the stars guide you.
You stay safe yourself.
I'll give a small bow.
Is one... Someone dropped their dice?
I don't know what that was.
No, that was
That's
my
not-
dog's collar. She's
I was
shaking
gonna
in
say
the
that
background.
sounded like a dog shaking off.
Yeah.
The good girl.
Sometimes, mostly no.
The precious baby.
Well, at least one of you doesn't want to see us fade into obscurity.
I will shut the door behind you. Safer that way.
Is it dark down there?
Of course.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But... And she sort of seems almost like she doesn't want to say something. Be careful.
Okay.
There are secrets down there that if your people learned of them, it could change everything. She's looking right at Anu when she says this.
Oh, that's cryptic. Hmm. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna head down, and Steven, I'm gonna summon some dancing lights.
Okay.
And have those light the way a little bit ahead of me.
All right. What is your passive perception? Or are you actively looking?
I'm actively looking because I'm expecting like full opening to Raiders of the Lost Ark style traps going into this.
Okay. So, you start walking down this stairway, and your hooves dance off the walls with their clicks as you take each step carefully. You make it to the bottom after about a 3-minute walk down the stairs. And you find yourself in this big, open, expansive room. There's a column of what looks like some sort of water that has bubbles in it, but it's glowing and thrumming with this very dull, almost sick yellow light. And it's casting everything in this eerie gold. It's a circular room made of stone, and it's still quite overgrown.
Wow. That's definitely magic as hell. I'll tell you that much. Did anyone else come in behind me, or did I just solo venture down here?
I thought we were all
Coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
All
taking up the rear because it seems like if trouble comes, that's the direction it will be from.
I'm somewhere in the middle of the line.
Okay. So, eventually your other companions come down. And you guys find yourselves in, once again, this columnar room. And you see this pillar of glass containing water that glows with a sickly yellow. It's surrounded by what looks like stone steps with a little bit of a platform around it. There are 3 outlets from this chamber. All of them are around the column. And the column is just in the center of the room. There are a great deal of vines, moss, and other plants still down here, but a lot of them have this bioluminescence to them that glows with this same sort of yellow. And you see that some of them, where the flower petals would be, are instead like crystal shards. And they don't look pleasant. They're sharp and curved almost like thorns, designed to prick.
Now, are we entirely sure that we're not in fairy?
You are in the material world.
Oh, that was in character.
Ah,
And like meant to be like a little bit superstitious sounding.
gotcha.
Say 93% sure that we're not?
High enough.
Well, wherever we are, I don't like it.
So
Get
there.
this strange feeling
Oh,
that Aeliath is a reason for the way this looks.
sorry, there's a dog.
These clippers.
She's so cute.
Everybody, this is Rosie.
Hello, Rosie. I love
Just-
you.
She has an Instagram.
I need to follow her on Instagram. All right, so there's 3 doors then out of this chamber. Aside from the one we came in from, that's what I.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Steven, just out of curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
before we do anything else, I want to use prestidigitation to just like sort of make like a little infinity symbol on the glass, on the pillar of
Okay.
water, just to see if there's any reaction to any kind of contact at all.
Okay. Make an Arcana check.
Okay. Oh God.
You
That-
can substitute investigation if you'd rather.
Well, at this point, it won't matter with that roll. So that's 6.
6. Okay. Did you get a 1?
I got a 2.
Oh, darn. I don't get my free GM intrusion.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Down, boy.
So, you see that the magic flares with intensity, and it's much easier to cast here. But when you do, it's... You know that feeling you get when you're a kid and you know stealing is wrong, but you steal something you really want anyway? It's like a temporary rush, and then
I
like
do not know that feeling.
an intense guilt.
Never got to the guilt part.
That's what it feels like when you do this.
Okay.
It feels wrong, and something took your magic from you, messed with it, and then gave it back.
Well, that was unpleasant. So I'm gonna general advice. Maybe avoid spell casting unless we really, really need it. Not eh. I'm okay.
You sure?
No.
All right, let us know if it gets any worse.
All right.
So I'm like looking at these doorways and seeing if I can like see anything down the way.
Okay. Down the center way, it looks like there's a small staircase that leads to a platform that then goes down again and curves. If you look down the right, then you see another eerie yellow glow. And when you go the left, you hear what almost sounds like, in the back of your mind, voices. Distantly, very distantly. They're speaking, but they sound pained, fervent.
That seems really sus, but I also really want to know what it is. Alright, I'm going to explain all of this to the party so that you all know. And we can make an informed decision.
Steven, would I know anything from like our library research? Would I see anything that like would ring a bell in my brain that was like, oh, that was in the book and this is what I know?
Go with history or investigation. I'll let you pick.
15?
15. You remember encountering a map for this, actually. And while you can't perfectly remember it, you know that the chambers to the right and left go to other circular chambers without these tubes. You remember that this tube of water goes down the different levels, and you know that the center path takes you deeper into the sanctum.
Okay. I relay that to the crew.
Okay. So, my thoughts are that I think it would be a mistake not to check out what the round way is before we head down to the center. Because I have a strong feeling that what we're looking for is going to be down the middle. But that's also a risk, so if you guys don't want to do that, I completely understand.
I'm between the concern of Aeliath realizing that we're down here and or Giselle waking up. I'm kind of inclined to not dawdle if we think we have a strong sense of where we should be going.
That is an absolutely fair point.
I don't know where anyone else's head is at.
I go with the group. You're the adventurers here.
Nim, at this point, you've been on enough adventures that you can't pretend like you're not one anymore.
Well, that's true. This place. I don't know. This is not my cup of tea. I will be honest.
Mask gives this fond little chuckle and then looks to Anu.
And Giselle in your arms just sort of like, tea. And
Very
she
soon.
looks very happy, and she looks like she's almost taking a cup of tea in her hands and says, "Thank you, Mr. Ben." And then just snuggles in deeper.
Yeah, we shouldn't dawdle.
Right, down the center it is.
All right. SENITA, are you still there? Your face disappeared.
I'm here.
Okay. So,
Lounging off to the side.
you guys take the center pathway and find yourselves on the platform. And, who's going first?
I'll take the lead still.
Okay. So,
And I will take up the rear.
Wisp.
Yes.
In your periphery, you see an illuminated, translucent, golden silhouette of a person reaching for you. Just, and when you turn, it's gone.
Okay. Not loving this. I keep going. I'm gonna start humming a soothing tune, not like a nursery rhyme, because nursery rhymes in like dark, foreboding places are always creepy. So I'm not doing that. But I'm just humming like, it's the sort of like a during dinner to help digestion soothing kind of tune to myself.
Is that a genre?
Yes.
It is in taverns.
Wait, when you perform as many places as I do and you have as wide a repertoire, yes, it is.
Are you keeping it PG while you do it?
I don't care.
I mean, she's asleep.
Yeah, but let's call it PG-13.
Okay. So Wisp is humming a tune, and you realize that this stairway actually spirals down, but in a square way, if that makes sense, with a platform at the base of each of these little stairways, and no outlet on any of the platforms. Until you find yourself on a new level that looks very similar to the one you just came from. Not a new level, a new level. And this one has another tube, and you notice that it's even greener down here. There are some trees that have grown. And there are like giant ferns, and there is even a fruit tree. But you can't tell what the fruit is because the fruit that's growing is clearly not natural and is bright yellow and has spikes, like thorny spikes jutting out of it.
I bet it tastes good.
And there are 3 more outlets here.
This is bullshit.
I cover Giselle's ears as much as I can.
Who's going in first?
I'll keep taking lead.
Okay. As you walk in, you see the room flicker briefly, and you see silk. Just very thin silk, stranded among the walls in a crisscross, and you see that the corners have this, like, opaque silk. There's so much of it that you can't see through it. And when you walk in, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. As tiny spiders rain from
spiders.
I freaking knew it. That's a 23.
A 23. So you dodge out of the way, and you see this deluge of spiders pour where you were. Like it's a waterfall of spiders, and they start skittering away. And you notice that instead of where their abdomens usually are, there's like these tiny little, what looks like roses for their abdomens, and they are yellow. And they have these glowing, sickly yellow eyes, and their spindly legs look like they're made of wood.
You know, I was going to say that means there are other insects down here because otherwise they wouldn't have been able to survive, but that is not natural.
Kill it with fire!
Firebolt?
Like, are they regrouping? Does there seem to be, like, did it seem like I just, like, triggered a spider trap? Or, like, looking around, does it look like I've just wandered into someplace I really don't want to be?
Make an investigation check.
Oh boy. uh, 5.
5. You smell this sickly, boozy, sweet scent. And you just are having a really hard time focusing in here. You can't tell exactly what is going on. And you see the spiders start to congregate. And then they start pouring from the cracks in the walls, and they congregate. And you see, as they continue skittering up to each other, they start coalescing and forming into this much larger form. And I need everybody to roll initiative.
Yep.
Why would you do this to me, Steven? Why?
I love spiders.
I know you love spiders. You played one recently.
11.
11.
16.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, the wrong one.
Oh my god, you have a spider sound effect.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that earlier. And I did not care for it at all.
I really got to re-download Syrinscape because I'm missing the sounds.
Anu, you are first, and you see these coalesced spiders have formed into essentially a bigger one. And
They're
it looks
Voltron.
like it has these blooms coming out of it, of these gold roses. And it looks vaguely like a plant, vaguely like an insect, but they're still moving in this body as they are slowly approaching. And occasionally you see flickers of what look like humanoid torsos reaching out from it and then being pulled back in.
Ugh. There's people in there?
And Anu, what are you doing?
Okay, so there's people in its abdomens.
Everywhere in it.
I imagine that nothing we could do can help those people.
They're translucent people.
Oh, translucent. Okay. And its body is a rose. Its legs are wood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I have range. I'm gonna throw a firebolt at it.
Okay.
Kill it with fire.
Oh, shit. I got a
Again, I
6.
covered Gisele's ears.
You got a 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So you fire this firebolt, and when you fire it, as it approaches the spider, it hits the body, like you hit it, but it warps yellow as it approaches and sucks into it. And you start seeing one of the 3 flowers on its back begin glowing brightly, intensely.
Oh, that's...
My flames?
And it is the spider's turn. And so the spider sort of... And when it does this, this muck of glowing yellow web fires at you. And does a 23 hit your armor class?
Yes.
You are
I not have-
restrained.
Aw, I don't have a dodge skill.
And you take 4 lightning damage as the thing electrifies, and you do not have a reaction now. The flower on its back ceases glowing.
Bulbasaur.
So, Masquerade, it's your turn.
Well,
You see, Anu is now wrapped up in this cocoon of yellow threads that electrified and tased her.
okay. So I we haven't long rested. I don't have any key points. I'm just gonna hit it.
Okay.
Punch it real good.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Okay, that's 19, and I am hitting the silk that Anu is wrapped up in, just for the record, so we're clear on that.
So you want to free Anu is your primary
Yes.
purpose.
Yeah.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Cool. 13.
13. You are trying to tear at these webs, and it doesn't quite seem like it's working. Like you're grabbing them, but there's just more of it.
Okay. Well, that was my action. I have no key.
You have a bonus action if you want it for unarmed strikes. And I would rule that a grapple, or what you're doing, would be considered an unarmed strike.
Okay, well, in that case, can that have been my bonus action?
Sure.
Can I firebolt the web?
Sure, go for
I'm
it.
sorry if this hurts you, Anu. I'm trying my best to get you out of this and not have your insides liquefied.
All right, make an attack roll.
Alright, so that was a 9, but I have a point of inspiration that I am now going to use.
Okay.
Because I don't trust that. 22.
22. Roll your damage.
5.
Anu, you take 5 fire damage.
Sorry. We'll figure this out eventually.
As this fire hits you, and Anu, make a Constitution saving throw. Four. Okay.
Note to self, don't do that again.
Anu, you fall over. And Masquerade, you see Anu fall out of the web cocoon.
Oh, that's good.
The web cocoon is still standing, shaped like her.
Okay.
Nim.
So I still have Giselle in my arms, and I look around where we are and just try to find a safe corner to go take her and kind of turn around so my back is to all the action, but just to make sure that Giselle's not seeing anything that would make her freak out or, explode again. So I'm just kind of holding her, trying to hide her as much as I can, and just kind of like humming a little lullaby, which I realize is Itsy Bitsy Spider, that I changed my tune real quick.
Okay, so the safest place would be for you to exit the room.
Okay. Can I take her just like right on the outside to where I can still like peek in and see what's going on? But
Absolutely.
okay.
When you peek in, you see the room is full of this yellow smoke that you can only vaguely see through. And you see Anu is lying there on the ground with bits of fire still licking off of her body. Mm-hmm. Masquerade is there, Wisp is there, and there is no giant spider.
Can I just shout that in, like, hey, there's no spider in there now?
Sure. In fact, because you're an orator, I will allow your thing to let everyone get a intelligence saving throw.
I can't use encouragement on that intelligence saving throw, can I?
You can.
Okay. Does that go for everybody?
For one person. You can pick one person.
Me too.
Anu just kicked its ass.
I rolled a 12.
A 12.
I'm going to give it to Mask. So you also get encouragement, which adds my charisma modifier, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, where is that? So +5.
So your roll, Masquerade, was +5 more. So
Okay.
what did everybody get?
I got a 12.
12.
That's going to be 19 total.
19.
I got a 22.
22. Anu and Masquerade, you now realize you're in the middle of a yellow, smoky room. But this yellow isn't smoke, it's glittering pollen. And Wisp, you see their eyes are still glazed over with this yellow powder that every time they blink, it just seems to get worse. And it is Wisp's turn. Wisp, there is a giant spider in front of you, and it's terrifying.
Okay. Just give me a second. How close is it?
How close is it? It is 30 feet away.
Damn it. Well, I'm too paranoid to use a spell on it after what happened to Anu, so I'm going at it with the rapier.
Okay. So you lunge for the thing. Make an attack roll.
Oh god, that's a nat 1.
Nat 1. So as you're running, you trip on a stone. Your silver rapier clatters on the ground and slides ahead of you. You are prone. Anu, it's your turn.
Can I get up?
Yes, you can get up. And you see Wisp is on the ground too.
This is nonsense. It's in my face.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing in here.
Yep.
Wisp, stop attacking nothing.
Wisp, make an intelligence saving throw at disadvantage.
$11.
11. So, Anu's yelling at you to stop attacking nothing. Whatever that means. It is the spider's turn. It is going to... and... Does a 16 hit your armor class, Wisp?
No.
Alright, so the web flies straight over your head and hits Masquerade. And now they seem to be entrapped.
Do I also perceive this?
Nope.
Okay.
And that brings us to Masquerade.
Good. I'm gonna get my water skin out and throw water in Wisp's face.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to clear your eyes out, buddy.
So, Wisp, make an intelligence saving throw with advantage.
21.
21. So, all of a sudden, Masquerade steps out of the cocoon and approaches you and sloshes water in your face. And when you blink, you come to, and you see what everyone else sees at this point.
Oh, that was a bad trip, man. Oh.
I mean, have you ever had a good one?
Yes!
Okay. That's fair.
I've performed at good parties.
Do we know what kind of flowers this nonsense is? I shouted from the doorway.
I don't know, but it's certainly not good pollen. I would say cover your mouth and nose, but my mouth and nose are already covered, and that didn't help at all.
How about we just move on quickly?
What if we collected some of it? Do you think it would be of use? Do you think we could collect it, or do we have any sort of receptacles? I'm out of Tupperware.
I have alchemist's supplies.
Okay.
Ooh. And an herbalism kit.
Would you like to collect some of this pollen, Masquerade?
I will do that.
Okay.
Spider pollen.
I will
I
roll.
hold my breath while I do.
You get 5 doses of this pollen.
Yeah.
Do any of us know anything about these plants?
You can make a nature check if you want.
I will. Oh, and I'm going to retrieve my rapier.
You will have disadvantage on a nature check to know about these plants unless you are proficient in an herbalism kit.
I am not.
I am not.
Nope.
I'll roll for it anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am, but my nature check is bad.
Damn it.
9?
Okay.
12.
11.
11.
6.
6. So, Masquerade.
I'm so annoyed. My first roll was a nat 20.
Oh, man. That disadvantage, though. Masquerade, you recognize this is a warped, corrupted version of a plant known as a mirage flower.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that, and then I will drop the information bomb that I found out about this when I was looking into poisons so that I could stop my charge from getting poisoned. It's not usually this bad. It's not supposed to do this.
It's usually used as a hallucinogen, and its flowers are usually pink. Everything
It's
about this
typically
is
more
yellow.
recreational.
You know, at this point, if I never see the color yellow again, it'll be too soon.
So we should probably be extra careful about stepping in the room. We should probably tiptoe. Maybe always have someone behind in case another one of these pollen fests decides it wants to take us on a spin.
I will go ahead and start forward.
Okay. Are you going towards the left, right, or center?
Which way did we go when we ended up in here?
Center.
I want to go left.
Good adventurers go left.
I just got a feeling.
Okay. So you walk to the left.
Good night.
And Masquerade, I don't know if anyone follows you, but
Yes.
you. Okay. So Wisp, Nim, Anu, are you following or are you taking up the rear?
I'll take up the rear.
Okay. So the three of you at first, and then Anu if you choose to come in at the end. You come into a cylindrical room that has no column, no real indicator of this yellow light, but you do see an abundance of trees, and it almost looks like you step inside what you would envision to be the inside of a tree. And there's a spiral staircase going up, and you see in the center of the room is a circle that is untouched by the wood of the tree. It has runes carved into an alchemical circle. But surrounding it, you see several bodies, elves, all dressed similarly, all of them petrified in wood. And going up this stairway is even more elves that are arranged in such a way that it almost looks like they were doing a thing on purpose here.
Well, this is creepy.
Anu, make a history check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
If I'm not mistaken, you guys all still have inspiration.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna use that inspiration.
Okay. So you just nullify the disadvantage, so you just get regular.
Oh. Okay. 12.
Which
12.
Wait, what?
no, that means you get a 22 because it would be
Oh.
the first two things
Yeah,
you
because
rolled.
you just take
Yeah.
your first roll.
Oh, okay, then I got a 22.
Okay. You recognize many of these faces from your vision.
These are the priests. I'm saying this out loud.
So do you think it's safe for us to go up there? Should we not be faffing with this? Thoughts?
I don't know. I wish there was a way to trigger these visions. I want to touch one of the elves, see if that does anything.
Okay. One you know or one you don't know?
One I know.
Okay. So you touch them, and you do feel that brief rush, like you're starting to get a vision. And something pulls you back. Something icky, something sick. And you briefly see the flickers of many of these humanoids that you've been seeing in the illusion and otherwise. Briefly, just once again, almost like a shade of them for a second over each of the statues, and then it's gone.
Oh my. I don't know what that was, but I feel like there might be another trap here, so if we're forced into another battle, let's just be careful about where we throw our fire. I've been burned before.
And anyone who wants to can also make either a perception or an investigation check, your choice. If you have painter's supplies or potter's supplies proficiency, you can have advantage.
What were the checks we could do?
Or mason's tools. Either investigation or perception, and I'll also allow arcana, actually.
19.
19.
16?
16.
I rolled, but I only got 10.
Okay.
Oh, am I rolling too?
If you want to.
Okay. Well, okay, so we got Arcana, Investigation, and Perception.
Yep, one of those.
All right, I'm going to do Perception. 25.
25. So, Anu, you're the first to realize this, followed by Wisp and then Nim. This circle with the runes and the lines and all the equations of a mystical nature form into what is the constellation of the Phoenix in Elvish lore.
Ha!
And Anu, you rolled well enough to realize that this specifically looks like it's meant to suppress, imprison, or otherwise restrain.
This is gel.
So going up the stairs probably not a good idea.
No, I don't know if it's a bad idea, because I feel like with the Phoenix and all, this might be where Giselle is meant to be. But now I'm curious about whether or not they were imprisoned for a reason. A good reason or a bad reason.
Do you think we'd be able to get Giselle out?
You do see, Nim, that Giselle seems very restless in your arms. Almost like she's having a nightmare.
I don't know if you want to have anyone roll to notice this, but I visibly tense up at the mention of Phoenix.
I want to roll. What is it? Perception?
Perception or insight?
20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
You're right over there, Wisp.
I've had my fill. I've just really had my fill.
Okay. I'm gonna go up the stairs, check it out, see what's up there. I will, well, if I'm not back in 10 minutes, assume the worst happened and get yourselves out.
You mean come get you?
No, I don't mean come get me. You've got the kid.
We're gonna come get you.
I know you are, but like, just let me think that you won't, and like start up the stairs.
Okay. So you start up the stairs and you get to the next level. You go through the pollen, but you seem to be more or less immune at this point.
Cool.
At least for the time being. So where are you going?
I just want to like, all right. I leave Stardust downstairs just for the record. I'm gonna keep going up.
Okay, so you're going to go all the way back up to the library?
Is that where this leads?
So you went to a cylindrical room.
Yes.
And from the library. Then you went through the central doorway, which led you to the second cylindrical room, which had the pollen.
Yes.
So you chose to go up the stairs to the first cylindrical room.
Okay. I am definitely not picturing this the way that you were picturing this. I was under the impression that it was like room, and then we went center again, so like that it was another room. At some point we had to have backtracked.
No, okay, so basically there's this enormous column below the temple.
Okay.
And the column is divided into multiple levels by these floors. The pillar of water goes all the way through like a stem.
Okay.
And then there are offshoot branchage rooms. You did not go to the branching rooms in the first level. You just went to the first one on the second level.
Okay, so the center was a staircase.
The center path out was a staircase down.
Okay, so we went to the bottom of that staircase, and that's where the statues were.
The bottom of the staircase was where the pollen room was.
Right.
And then the left offshoot room is where the statue room is.
And then there are stairs that go up, so it would be like next to the upstairs thing with the water.
Yep.
Okay.
So this goes up to that other corresponding room up top.
All right, well then I'm going to go back down and explain that because like I got confused and like we're like physically being in this, I assume that it's probably reasonable to not realize that there's a loop.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll let them know that that is the case and that we've still got a little bit more to explore here than if we go the other way.
So you have a central way down again on this second level, or you can go to the right and explore that room.
I feel like we should just be going down. Unless you want to check, because we're already stopped.
It's up to all of you.
Y'all took too long. I'll check the right room real quick.
Okay.
I'll just stick my head in.
So you stick your head in the right room and you see a mural. And the mural has writing in Elvish. I don't know if you read Elvish, but there's also writing in Sylvan.
That I do speak.
And the writing in Sylvan seems to be equivalent to the Elvish, so that it's written in both languages simultaneously.
Okay.
And it is a poetic edda that explains that the moon is somehow, you gather without a proper history or investigation check, that the moon, the goddess of the moon, is somehow tied to one of these many phoenixes. And that she sealed away something that should have been kept away. And that she lived in this city in order to keep it kept away. And that's as much as you can gather without a successful check.
Well, I mean, I have proficiency in history, so I'm gonna do a check.
Okay.
That's a 10.
A 10. You gather that this mural was made by the people who made this room, and that they are probably the priests. given that it also tells the tale of how they sealed away the Phoenix for the greater good, to beat back the humans that destroyed their former glory.
All right, I'll pop back out. So, interesting mural in there. Whole thing about the moon having contained and like kept something here, and like that it was for the greater good, and it's kind of seems to be implying that it was the Phoenix and it was something about the humans. I kind of nodded off at the end. I was getting bored with it. But yeah, coming back to the Phoenix stuff.
Do I remember any of this history from my research in the library, and do I have anything to add to this?
Give me a history check.
3 bucks.
9!
9. You do know that this city was tied to something called the Sapphire Phoenix, but beyond that, you don't know much.
Okay, I tell the group.
Do I have any recollections of the Sapphire Phoenix?
You make a history check. Tonight's the night of history checks.
Yeah, I love it. It's my best subject. Oh! That was a critical failure.
Not only that, you can't remember a Sapphire Phoenix in Elvish lore at all.
Sapphire what?
These gaps in my memory.
All right, well, I guess we might as well start heading down again.
Yeah, we'll probably find out some more stuff down here anyway.
It
So,
seems as if that room with the arcane sigils is the place. So everything in there certainly looks flammable.
Well, I would think if there's something that the heart of this thing, it would literally be at the heart. It would be at the lowest point.
Let's wait before we set something on fire.
so you guys approach the central stairway, and about halfway down, you notice there's this thick carpet of moss that starts, and these vines that sort of lay haphazardly along the walls and ceiling. They are not so much that they are completely covering everything, but it will be difficult to traverse down without touching them.
Are there any like bits of chipped stone or anything on the stairway?
Make an investigation check.
I want to do one too.
That's 8.
Yeah, that's
8.
a 6.
You don't really notice anything significant. There's cracks, there's a little bit of crumbling, as you would expect in a ruin, but a lot of the stuff down here seems newer than the temple above.
Okay, you know what then? You remember that jar of poison cherries that I got?
Uh-huh.
I'm pulling out one of the cherries and tossing that on the moss and seeing what happens.
Okay. So you toss it on the moss. Nothing immediately happens that you can tell.
Okay.
That was the most ominous thing a DM has ever said.
It's still okay. I'm gonna try and start navigating it, but I do not want to step on the moss or the vines if I can help it.
Okay. Make a stealth roll. Or acrobatics. Either one is acceptable.
Let's see. What this guy get? So that's a 19.
19. Okay. Wisp manages to leap and nimbly dodge down to the different patches that don't seem to have anything on them, their hooves clopping just slightly as they make their landing.
Still got it.
you're now looking into a last room, and this room is utterly dark.
Yeah, send some dancing lights in there.
All right. You notice there's not a column in this room, but when you see the dancing lights and you send them out, you do see an enormous, what looks almost like a cross between a brazier, a throne, and an altar.
Folks, I think I found the receptacle.
And you do see on the ceiling, there seems to be this cap of metal that is holding something up. And you see occasionally a faint glowing drip of yellow water that bloop, and it lands in the brazier altar throne that's on this dais, and it extinguishes as soon as you hear the little bloop, so it's no longer luminous, but it's too high up for you to see what's inside.
Wow.
Who's coming down next?
I'll come down next.
Okay, stealth or acrobatics?
19.
19. Okay, you once again just nimbly do your Batman tricks and get your way down there without an issue, avoiding all of the plants.
At the mention of stealth or acrobatics, Marissa's making a face that has me very nervous.
Mask will take a knee and make a motion and be like, hop on. I promise I'm not going to let anything bad happen to you.
Nim says, okay.
Nim
They
and
will
Masquerade.
take Nim with me.
You hear stone grinding on stone up above.
We had probably best hurry. And I get a 22 on my way down with acrobatics.
Okay, so you've got Nim on your shoulders or on your back,
Yeah.
and you nimbly dodge your way down without an issue. And you guys now find yourselves in the same sort of room. The drip happens maybe once every minute.
So let's lay out the facts that we're working with right now. We had an elf who kidnapped Giselle. Who kidnapped Giselle because he wanted to bring back the glory of the elves. Point two, we already have an elf here who is convinced we're not allowed to leave the elf city, who wants to kill Giselle because Giselle can bring back the elves in a way that apparently hurts them. But then we had a lion who was supposed to stop us from coming down here to prevent Giselle from bringing back whatever one elf says is a good thing and another elf says is a bad thing. Point number 4. There's a bunch of priests in there that are turned to wood, covered in gunk. It's gross. And in whisper word, a phoenix that was put away for the greater good. But the greater good of what?
And just a little bit more information to complicate the plot. So Mask and I, we heard some stone grinding, so we might have, visitors
Company.
soon.
Oh man. Okay.
I am reticent to say just stick Giselle in the thing, but
She is oomed right now, but we have mana potions, so...
Actually, you know what? Steven, can I cast Sacred Flame into the brazier?
Sure. When you cast it, you see it immediately warps yellow and is eaten into it. But it illuminates everything enough that you now see that all of the cracks in the cobblestone are filled with this black ichor that is actually dripping from inside this altar brazier thing, almost like a more liquidy tar.
Oh, I don't like that. Oh.
Yeah. I'm gonna slip into Stardust for a moment and go up there and get a better look.
Okay.
I don't know why I didn't think to do that like half an hour ago.
Okay. So, you're just trying to look at the ceiling of this room?
No, I want to look at the brazier.
Oh, okay. You look, and it is full of this liquid. This tar-like substance.
Does it look like the stuff that the necromancer was using?
Very similar. And you do see that there is a very faintly glowing yellow stone jutting up from the center that looks very familiar.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out the necromantic book that we picked up from the necromancer's lab. I'm going to hand it to Nim. I'm going to be like, we're probably going to have company here in a minute. You are definitely the best person at doing research. I will describe what was in the bowl and then ask her if she can find anything and like set up ready to defend when people show up. If that makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
Yep.
I'm ready to speed read.
Okay, so you are speed reading through this book. Make an investigation check.
Can I use my inspiration?
You can use your inspiration.
13.
13. Okay. I'm going to insert a GM complication here.
Of course you would.
So you get an inspiration, you can give one to somebody else.
I will give one to Wisp.
You.
Okay, so you find the section which talks about how the black ichor relates to the yellow corrupted mana, but the pages that specifically indicate how to undo it have been torn out.
Makes sense.
And
I relay that to the group and tell them that this is the worst book ever.
Anu, roll a d20 for me.
Okay. Guess I'll just roll a regular d20 because I don't know where that is on my thing. 8.
8. So, Anu, you feel these long, strong fingers close over your mouth, and a face leans in beside yours. I can't believe you'd betray me like this. Betray our people like this. And he shoves you by the mouth towards your friends as you guys are looking at Aeliath. What have you done? This is a sacred, holy place. And
Really? Because it looks fucked.
It also would have been real convenient if you'd mentioned that at literally any point before now.
he throws out his hands, and these thorny vines that were wrapped around his arms extend, grabbing the corners of the altar brazier, and he pulls himself almost like a catapult and slings himself into the black ichor that slooshes. And he takes his hands and raises them up with this black ichor pouring out of it. And he says, "For the glory of our goddess!"
You're gonna drink that?
And he drinks.
Oh.
And when he drinks, you see his veins start pulsing with this yellow, sickly light. And his chest rips open. with these plant-like tendrils that erupt from this toothy maw that now makes up his body as his bones start cracking like wood and growing. And you see as he transforms into this massive hulking behemoth of a plant-like feral humanoid with arms and spindly clawed hands, almost like spider legs, that drag even lower than his feet fall. And you hear him utter this roar as he shouts, "Now you will pay!" And that's where we're going to cut it.
Can I very quickly hand the mana potion off to Nim before
Yes, you can do
combat
that.
starts?
That's
okay.
not an issue.
Because Giselle's gonna need that.
Yeah. I will write that down so I know that for next time.
And that's where we're cutting it for tonight. Full disclosure, we will not be meeting again on the 16th because I have a dinner to attend for my sister's birthday. So yeah, family commitments and stuff. Before we head out, shout out to Syrinscape. We love the music. We love the sound effects. They've been making the game super cool. So yeah, check them out. We've got links in the cards or the description if you're on YouTube. And yeah, until next time, everybody, whether it's on the page or at the table, tell your story your way. Bye.